What's up?
Hello. I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for an invite on the pod.
Thank you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good. That's first for me, really. But yeah, I'm ready.
I feel like I dragged you on here.
A little bit.
But
Thank you. You did.
Appreciate it.
So whatever was going out of my comfort zone will help me grow and just put myself out there. Then yeah, we'll do it.
That's good. Let's talk about like how friendship has been like a healing space for you. I don't know if you feel like, I think for me personally, experiencing you, I have felt a certain level of healing just being friends with you. Would you say you've experienced that to an extent? How would you say it's been healing for you, if it has?
Yes, it definitely has. Yeah, how has it been healing? Well, just to see that when two opposite sex, they getting to know each other and they friends, they're not trying anything, or it's just like pure friendship. And then you will get to know that as well by, like, for example, if you talk about dating or the opposite sex, like friends or dates, and if you talk about that freely and you can give away a little bit of games sometimes, that's definitely an extra. That's definitely an extra.
I've been finding out some things from Seb. I'm like, you know, it's like corny sometimes.
Okay,
I'm joking.
don't disclose that. What do you mean by corny?
No.
Specify that.
It's just like, I don't want to give away your game, eh? Like the information and things, like the things that you share.
No, that's why you don't give that.
I won't give away the game.
You're not giving away the game for free, no.
Exactly. But the truth is that a lot of men, I personally believe that a lot of men go by a lot of rules, and personally, based on my own experience, I also feel like they tend to project in the dating game. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not going to talk about that now. We're talking about friendship as a healing space. When I first saw you, you're into, self-development. We both had similar interests, and that was one of the things that piqued my. I was like, okay, like this guy, we've got similar interests, a good listener. He would ask questions about the other person. You weren't just like someone who was, very self-absorbed or thought about yourself. And from when I moved in, you're always like, take anything that you want. So I feel like growing into that space with you, and when I've gone through things in my life, when I'm not feeling down, it's like you can read it and you would ask me like, oh, are you okay? It's almost like you can read through me and you would create that space for me to cry and to lean on you in a healthy way. And you just never were a perv. You were just genuine, like in your core, you are a genuine person. And I think that's one of the things that drew me to you. You're not a person that lies, you don't lie. And that's one of the things I love about you. You don't lie, you're very honest. Like, although there's some things about you where I'm like, especially when it comes to your dating,
okay.
I'm like, how about something different? But hey,
let's leave that for now.
You've got your choice. That's your life. So I'm not gonna. We listen, we don't judge. But you do know I judge you sometimes.
Of course you do.
I do judge you sometimes. So I guess like throwing that back to you as well. Like
in the end of the day, everybody judges everybody.
Everyone.
Like, I'm trying not to judge people, but like sometimes even the first impression when you see somebody on the street or you go into a new environment and you're like, your first subconscious thought is like, oh, this guy is, I don't know, is this and that, and you judge him straight away. But then I go back in my brain and I'm thinking like, okay, you shouldn't judge him, and there must be a reason behind it. And then
that's good.
But let's face it, like it's a everyday thing that people judge.
Yeah.
Like whenever you go in the tube, you go in the shopping mall, sometimes people see you, maybe you have dirty shoes, maybe you have scruffy hair, or maybe your hair is just all over the place, and they'll be like, oh, what happened to him? Friendship is healing. Well, yeah, as I mentioned, knowing somebody that is very genuine and especially will give you support in hard days. And as you mentioned, like we can sense each other, like moods, and then how the mood swings and how they feel in that day. And sometimes when I feel like you are a little bit down, I'm gonna ask you if everything's okay and say, yeah, it's fine. But I see like there's something going on, I'm just gonna leave you to it. But it's good that you get a support from that, and you can always talk about that. You can always talk about situations that are hard for you, and also and also get feedback on those situations and try to put yourself in each other's shoes, and then in shoes of people that the situations was involving, for example. So yeah, discuss the hard moments as well, give support,
Yeah.
have mind stimulating conversations
Yeah.
for sure, you know,
Yes.
and then
Yeah.
and then, you know, we both heavy on the books, so
Yes.
like exchange the.
That was how we bonded.
Yeah.
It was through self-development and books. Yeah.
Yeah, self-development, and then also when you see somebody, like you're going two different routes, right? And then you see that person that is saying like, okay, I'm gonna be doing this and this for now, and then you see them in a month's time, 2 months time, and then you see how they're progressing or how they're going towards the goal. It's like, you know, growing together but apart.
Yeah,
let's say
I get what you mean.
like you see the process, and the other person sees the process of you as well. What about you? How do you feel about that?
I think for you, I'm grateful for you every time. Every time. I think with my experience with men in the past, like I said, I've had good male friends. I do have good male friends that are still in my life. But we don't talk all the time, but I know that they're there. You are just, I don't know, I think for you, you're like a brother to me. You know, like an older brother. You just care for me. You just love me. You're just so pure. So pure. And I truly believe like the kind of friendship that we have is why God created us as human beings, to have relationships with no motives. You know, just appreciate the God in other human beings as well. I've learned a lot from you as well. You know, I think that actually I learned how to listen from you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
I learned how
saying that about the guy, yeah. Well, the guys don't listen though.
No, seriously, I learned how to listen from you, how to pay attention to what someone's saying, how to take, because you know, a lot of times when we're talking to people and sometimes we're just thinking in our own head what we're going to say next. I think with you, I've learned how to just be present to hear what you're saying and taking things that you're saying. And I think I've been able to take that into my other relationships as well. You know, I've learned health. This man, he's big on health. Like, he taught me how to take supplements. Like, when I met him, I started taking protein powder. I said, because I never used to take protein powder before. It was when I met you that I got that protein powder I used to have. I started taking like my vitamin D, ashwagandha, all of those things to keep me healthy. Even till now, like, he's like, oh, you're gonna eat that. You should, you know, you should keep track of your calories. And I'm like, thank you very much.
It's not that rigid. I'm just saying.
No, but it's just love and care. So, but genuinely, like, you've made me pay attention to my health in a way that I have never, which, you know, I'm just so grateful for that. I think just every experience, every moment with you has been healing. I can't even put to words how healing it has been. But now and no, honestly, and hey,
you.
No, you're welcome. And we go out as well. We do things. I'm actually making these videos today to show my friendship with Seb that you can have a platonic relationship with the opposite sex. It doesn't have to be anything sexual, anything pervy. It can just be genuine and not being attached and not thinking something's gonna happen. And even if anything is gonna happen, because life can happen, you just never know. But at the same time, you can actually have a genuine relationship with your opposite sex friends, right?
I don't want to break that point to you. I do agree, but this is very rare cases. Like, It actually comes down to what these male friends think. You know, and I don't want to be talking about your male friends because I believe that you have true connection and you guys are friends. But mostly how guys are thinking, especially if the woman is attractive. So I wanted just to bring that up. So as long as there are boundaries to it, and as long as each other, they are not really attracted to each other, I guess there can be attraction, like on a little bit attraction. There must be attraction at some point, you know, because that's how you get friends. Because you wouldn't be friends with somebody that you're not attracted to on any level, like
you can be
physical, mental.
You can be.
In what way?
You can be attracted to someone that you might not deem them physically. I mean, you can be friends with someone like you might not deem them like physically attractive, but maybe there's something else.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
them
but that's what I'm talking about, the attraction. I'm not talking
Yeah.
about physical attraction. There's much more to it, you know.
Yeah.
Physical and intellectual,
Yeah.
you know, mental,
Emotional.
intelligence. Like you will be just attracted to one of these boxes, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I mean when I'm talking about attraction.
Yeah. What would you say was the communication for us when it came to our boundaries?
For us, I guess, well, I was, let's say, in the stage that I was open to dating and stuff like that. And then you said, it's like you're very, like, I started to getting to know you, and you're like very God-fearing, and you wanna date for marriage, and you don't wanna commit too much, you don't want to have sex before you actually marry a man and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And for my values, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
It's obviously not all about sex and how important that is, but just as of the model of dating and how you're getting to know somebody, and then if you're gonna marry somebody, then you're gonna have sex with him, and then you're gonna get intimate with him and get to know that person better. Like, I just have different way that I operate, and for me, at that point I just understood, like, we gonna be friends, because as you mentioned about my characteristics, I felt quite similar about you, like that you listen, that you know, quite interesting and intelligent and witty, and you know, you had a lot of interesting things to say, and we just put the vibe together, and I thought, like, yeah, okay, she can be my friend, but I know it's not gonna be anything else at this point.
Okay.
Obviously. So
would you say that it was basically my standards that just you already knew that we don't meet in that similar standards, so that was it? So you're like, okay, you know.
Yeah, I mean that was it, and also for me, like, at this point, if I'm on something, I just try to desensitize women, like
Decenter women, yeah.
Decenter women.
Are you really decenter women?
Well, I'm trying to whenever it's feasible, but like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes obviously when I see a hot girl here and there at the gym or the tube, you know.
This is Sebastian. Like, even hot girls run when you see this man. I'm joking. He's really kind and respectful, so, you know, don't.
Wow, you're not very advertising me very well there, yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Wow.
Trust me, like, this is a good person.
Well, good person. Good person and nice guy.
No, not nice guy, but no, you're just a friendly person. You're very friendly. Like, it doesn't have to be with a guy or a girl. You're friendly with everyone. You know how to have a good conversation with people. Like, when I bring my meal from your Ben, you know, the other guy I brought the other day, and you're like, both of you just got on together. And remember I told you that both of you, like, very similar in a way.
Yeah.
You know? So you're not just the kind of guy that, you know, oh, because it's a girl. Like, you literally meet guys at the gym. Me and Seb go to the same gym, yeah? And please tell me why. I'm sorry, I was going to this gym first, okay? And he was going to this other gym. Please tell me why Seb now has... He literally... When did you start?
2 months ago?
Just 2 months ago, Seb now has a gym buddy that he works out with at the gym. So it's not just like... He's not just the kind of guy that is all about, just going to walk up to this girl just to be, you know, take her on a date, or I guess whatever, you know, people think. He's just a great... He knows how to network, and he knows how to have good conversations, and that's just really who you are, to be very honest. So, you know, don't mind me when I'm saying that girls run. I actually don't mean that. You know, if you're a good woman, you know, he's single. He's a single man.
Yeah, stop advertising.
He's a single man. I thought you said it.
Yeah, but
So
I'm advertising.
I'm advertising you in a good way now.
Yes.
But anyway.
No, I do. But like on that note, yes, it's about networking as well. Even though I go to speak to a girl, it's not necessarily to actually go out for a date with her. It's just to say hi, see if we can build a connection, and then if I ever see her again, then maybe say hi again and say how's your weekend going. And
let's talk about masculinity and femininity.
Okay,
that's a conversation that we always go on about. We talk about quite often.
Right.
So,
let's get it. Fire.
What's your definition of masculinity and femininity? Like, your own definition, not societal, but your own definition.
Well, both separately. Or, well, I guess these are just both frames that have each of them have its own characteristics. Like, for example, as mentioned before, twice, man is usually purpose-driven, down to earth, and very logical. And so he sees the goal and he just strives for it. He keeps going for it. Like, for example, as I mentioned before, waking up early, studying, going to work, and after work you're going for a gym because it has to be done, and then sleep and then repeat. And then once you have a goal, if it's 1 to 5 year goal, they gonna just pursue it. That's why a lot of men will be successful, but this probably will be top 1%. Some people say 5% of men, but once there's this one top percent, they just owning it, they just smashing it, they waking up early, that they're doing whatever it takes to succeed, Yeah. But there's also women that they do that, but this is masculine trait, which obviously.
Do you think as a man you have masculine and feminine, and as a woman I have masculine?
Yeah, 100%.
And who is a feminine woman to you?
Who's the feminine woman to me?
Who's the feminine woman to you? Yeah.
Well, woman who is, emotional, soft, and caring. For women, I believe, like love and relationship is very important as well. They not as logical as men. They can be logical. Don't get me wrong. These traits, they mix each other. When I'm saying women are emotional, it doesn't mean that men can be emotional. I'm saying man is very logical. It doesn't mean that woman can't be. But mostly, women, they operate on emotions. So sometimes, for example, I don't know, you meet a guy on the street and then you'll give him his number, and then you feel like, oh wow, this guy is so nice. I had a good conversation with him. I'm gonna see him on the weekend. And then tomorrow she wakes up and then she start acting from space of emotions, and then she's like, but I don't actually know if I like that guy. Maybe it's just not gonna go out with him.
Are you saying that women are based on their feelings a lot?
Yeah, and they sit a lot in their feelings, and they they're a little bit softer, they more caring, they have emotional intelligence, and they can sense things.
Yeah.
For example, about the men as well.
Okay.
So yeah, men are more rational, logical, purpose driven, and women are more. Yeah, they have more of what's the name, the sixth sense, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. I want to know, as a man, I feel like a lot of times we live in a society where growing up, men do not cry. Got a man up and
100%. Yeah.
Exactly. So, as a man, how would you say that you've navigated healing and broken, maybe not brokenness, but I know you've had your own history. I don't want to necessarily go into it if it's something that you're not comfortable with, but at the same time, how have you navigated healing in such a broken world? How have you navigated your healing? What do you do to help you heal? How do you pay attention to you? Because a lot of men do not pay attention to themselves. They mainly pay attention to the physical and all they want to show. But you are that man, and I can tell you right now, he's that kind of man that he doesn't just pay attention to his physical. I know Seb is a very inward kind of person first. He thinks a lot. He's very observant, very introspective. So what brought you to this place of being introspective, wanting to heal, wanting to grow, wanting to do better?
Oh, well, as of probably most of us, it comes down from our childhood mostly, right? There was some disadvantages that we had in our childhood. I'm grateful for my childhood, for my family, for my parents and my brother. But there's always been things that shape us in a sense, and give us experiences that we remember, some traumas as well. And it's just things that we remember, or even if we don't, they sit inside us. And then at some point, if you start thinking about it, then you start, unraveling them a little bit. And then I guess my journey with that started with as of therapist, but not as of.
So you did therapy?
Yeah, I did therapy. Yeah,
you never told me.
Well, it's not I think I did mention, but it's not a strict therapy on you guys talking. Okay, why did you act in that way, and then how did you feel in that way? Why were you angry? What that how that make you feel. Not in that way. That was more of a recall healing therapy. It was a little bit different. It was more on working on your ancestral's line and how was your childhood and how that shaped you.
Okay.
Obviously, this is very similar to therapy.
Was it somatic?
A little bit, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It's a lot about energy, and a lot
Okay.
of people would say that wouldn't work for them, and why are we talking about stuff how my father's father treated him, but there's also similar pattern in the in our ancestral line and from our
Yes,
parents or the parents,
absolutely.
and then it carries on, even though a good example is like when somebody says I'm never gonna be like my mother because she's this and that, and then they grow up and
And
they're
they become-
exactly like their mother, but
Yeah.
there's a reason behind it.
Yeah.
So
So how did your journey start? Like, when did you how has that healing been for you as a man?
So that healing has been for me, like I basically started from the therapy, and we had the sessions every week, and then I had like a homework, and I started working on that, and I started digging deeper, and then at this point, as an added bonus, I started journaling a little bit, and then also I'm very purpose driven, so also I did started doing some manifestation and start writing in the morning, and then how am I feeling, or what goals do I have and what's stopping me. So this was like full on self-development journey. So, and in that point, as you mentioned before, I'm very observant. So I just bring it down to just simple ingredients that I can see what works and what not, and what I want to max out and what I want to work on. And like got this area in my life, like for example, I used to be very shy, and this obviously different people helped me with that and experience along the way. But so yeah, I guess areas of my life that I know they could be improved, or the areas of my life that I'm not happy with, that I'm just gonna work on them. And mainly in a way that I'm just gonna think about it. I'm just gonna be in my own presence, no distractions. Obviously consume content and see what other people have to say about this topic, and for example watch 3-5 people what they're saying about the same topic, and then choose my happy medium from that, and then see if that even works. Maybe I had some experiences of what they saying, and my experience was different, so I say, okay, it's a little bit different for me, but maybe it's true what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it was just like vast array of like everything, but mainly how do I navigate through going through hard phases like that, and just working over healing. And I guess I just sit by myself, and it's not necessarily like a motivation, but you just sit in your own emotions. And if you feel bad, we wanna escape. There's like very popular escapism nowadays, right?
And what can you give us examples of escaping? Because a lot of example of escaping, 100%. Yeah, it can be good or bad escapism. I mean, escapism is always bad because you're running away. Of escape?
The most popular is obviously drugs, alcohol, sex, casual dating, parties and stuff like that. But then also the escapism that I have is gym. It's not always, but like for example, when I had a tough time at work, I used to work as a pastry chef, and like 13-14 hours a day, and sometimes the day was so stressful, and I was just so pissed off with some things, or even not pissed off, but a little bit agitated. And it was just a tough day, and I was thinking, okay, tomorrow before work, I'm going for a gym. And it's not only to pump some iron, also it helps. But like it's something that I love to do. So this is my escapism. Because obviously you're still escaping from your emotions a little bit, but so it's still not good. It's a healthier way than obviously going and doing.
So do you not think that? I feel like I'm coming to this understanding a bit that sometimes even that bad thing, maybe for instance where you say drinking and whatever to escape, sometimes you can use it to your advantage. In a way?
Yeah, in a way. If it's a gym, then it's fine. But if it's drinking and drugs, you can't use it in your advantage. There's no way. You say like, I don't feel in the mood today, like I feel a bit agitated, I'm gonna smoke a spliff. And that's gonna lead you nowhere. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against it, I'm not like, you know, everything is for people, but like this is trying to avoid this emotion at this moment when you feel grief, when you feel sad, or when you feel pissed off with somebody. If you sit and you think about it, and then sometimes you come to different conclusions, like, why am I upset with this person? Or why did that person acted in that way? Where is she coming from? Is she... So you might have quite interesting conclusions to that. But as of the bad and good escapism, it's like going for gym. It will definitely give you a side bonus of feeling better and having a good body and everything. Yeah. But I still feel it, like I still feel the correlation in between, like when I'm a little bit agitated or pissed off. And then I'm like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna smash the gym in the morning, and then I do it, and then I go to work again, and on my way to work, I feel amazing. It is a cycle, but also like because of the gym, you know, helps you to release these hormones that just makes you feel good, and then you've worked out. So yeah. Can
I just say that I feel like when it comes to healing, everyone's healing and their processes are not the same. Whatever rocks your boat, however you can do it, however you can make it work for you. The most important thing is that even if you feel like you escaped this moment, make sure you still give yourself that space and that time to be like, I'll give myself the opportunity to escape. However you want to do it, good or bad way, that's up to you. But 3 days from now, I've got to sit there with that emotions. I've got to dig through what's going on there. We still got to work through it. Because sometimes you just need to give yourself that time to do what you want to do. Yeah, escape. Like for instance, my escape is dancing. But then I realized that sometimes that I'm like, I go through a lot. I'm just like, I don't even feel like dancing. Like that's not what I need right now. But I find another way. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes I try to escape through stillness. And stillness, I swear sometimes I just want to be there like, don't take me out.
You want to escape for stillness? Are you a monk?
But then that's the thing.
That's even higher in the hierarchy.
But then how long can you be in that space of stillness for? Because when you come out, your problems are still going to be there. Yeah. So it's all down to the mindset and also what you do within yourself. So sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I think it's okay to escape, but make sure that you're like, 3 days from now, I'm going to be back on. We're going to do this. We're going to face all these emotions that will fit.
Do you think it's like actually feasible and achievable? For most people, not.
For me, it's, I say that because I apply this even when I'm like into my studies. How I study. Okay. Like for instance, like how people get distraction when they're studying with their phones and things like that. What I do is that I make sure that I go through my phone. I'm like going on.
You TikTok. Close the books. Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm gonna scroll the shit out of this.
Exactly for like an hour, and I'm like, great, I've satisfied myself now. Right. Good. Now let's go study. So when I'm studying, I'm putting my phone away for 2-3 hours. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm not bringing out my phone. So it's worked for me. That's why I'm saying that it can be quite different.
If that works.
It can be quite different. Do you get what I mean? Now, it doesn't mean that I need to lean on that in that way, right? Yeah. I'm still growing. Life is a beautiful, I guess, platform just to keep on growing. So I'm not going to be like, oh, because that's how I do it. I'm going to keep on doing it that way. I'm going to grow and I'm going to grow out of it. And, things should be better. I will be better. And that's the point of everything. It's not just to be this perfect person, but what works for you in this moment and how can you navigate it really. But anyways, what would you say to the people watching this right now, Sebastian? Like, what advice regarding everything we've talked about, particularly regarding friendship?
I think we've dropped a lot of gems in here.
So thank you for.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you for joining me in She Rises TV. This is where, we rise to elevation. We rise to becoming our best selves. And here's an example of the kind of people that I would love to have on this podcast, to hear their own stories, to hear what motivates them, and to share and I guess just inspire. Like, we all are growing together. I want you to know that you are not alone in this journey of life. There are people out there going through the exact same thing that you're going through. They just don't talk about it. So this platform is going to be that safe place where you can come and feel seen, heard, and also inspired to go through, to go towards, whatever it is that you feel like you want out of life. Right?
Wow, what a beautiful disclosure. Oh my days. There was just everything on the spot. Well done.
So,
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Actually, I was not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I didn't know which route it's gonna go, but like it went quite good spontaneous, you know.
well, that's the issue. Like, what did you think it was gonna be? But yeah, you did it. You did it. Anyway, thank you so much. And yeah, see you in the next video.